Hey everyone, it is Allison here from Ladner Village Arts and Crafts. And for Friday's inspiration, I'm going to do a couple of things. So there is a sale going on right now because it is my birthday month, and it is it's not like a giant birthday, but it's the birthday before a giant birthday. I am turning 49, and I kind of wanted to kick off my 50th turn around the sun with a big party, and you get the gifts. So there's a big giant 40% off sale going on 49 of my favorite things. And sometimes my favorite things are an entire line of things, like all our stencils and all our Distress Oxide inks, that kind of thing. So I am going to show you some of my sort of card making tricks, because one of the other things that's on sale is all of our 6x6 paper pads, which I don't actually have any here from the store, but also the Cocoa Vanilla Studio, the entire line, their No Limits line, is on sale, and part of that line is this 6x8 paper pack, and these are all single-sided, which is a little different from most 6x6 paper pads are double-sided, but I thought I would show you how gorgeous these papers are, and B, how versatile this size of paper pad is. And it's kind of one of my favorite paper pad sizes to work with, because I like to make a variety of card sizes. So first up, let's look at some card sizes. So your typical 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, when cut in half and then each half is folded, that gives you two sort of standard size cards. And let me just quickly do that for you to sort of demonstrate. Clear some space here. So there are two ways of doing your cards. So since I have my paper this way, I'm going to show you, because I like to make as few sort of scores and cuts as possible. It just simplifies my process. So if you score it at the 5.5 mark, and then flip your paper 90 degrees and cut it at 4.25, this gives you two top folding, that's called a top fold card, standard size cards. Now I do this a lot because I like to make this style of card. Now if you take the same paper, and this time I'm going to score it at 4.25, so I've got it vertically in my trimmer, and then I'm going to trim it at 5.5. Now I have two side fold cards, which you can also stand it this way, or this is more sort of typical. Okay, so we've got a top fold and a side fold, same size of card, and it's just a matter of how you cut and score your paper. All right, so to review, if you score your paper halfway lengthwise and then cut it halfway horizontally, you get the side fold. If you score your paper halfway horizontally and then cut it halfway vertically, you get two top folds. Make sense? Okay, but what if we want a different size of card? I have been making these guys. This is what they call a mini slimline card. And this requires, first off, a 6x6 piece of paper. So I'm trimming it at 6 inches, and then again at 6 inches. And then I'm going to score it at 3 inches. And that is your mini slimline. So you can have it, you can design your card horizontally or vertically, doesn't really matter. Okay, so that's the mini Slimline. Now, these other offcuts, what can you do with them? I like to make bookmarks out of this size. You can also score it in half, and then you have like a little gift card. This one is almost a standard size card. If you look at it, it's like 5 inches. So if you score this at the halfway mark, because this is 8.5 inches, so if you score it at 4 1/4, it's just a little bit smaller than your standard size card, and I'll pull that in for reference. Okay, same height, but just a little bit shorter, just 1/2 inch. So I quite often will make cards out of this size because they will easily fit in a standard size envelope. So that's what you can do with those. Okay, so your 8.5 by 11 piece of paper then gives you like basically 3 cards or 2 cards and a bookmark. The other size of card that is popular is a Slimline card. So that other one was called a mini Slimline. This is called a Slimline. You see the difference there. It's quite a bit bigger. So this one, it's 8.5 inches wide, so the full width of your paper, and then it's 3.5, I believe. Let's check. Yeah, 3.5 inches tall. Long, tall, whatever that is. So when you have your 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, you're cutting it at 7 inches and then scoring that in half to give you 3.5 inches, right? And then you've got this other piece, which again, you can score in half, and then you've got almost like a note card size. It's a little bit taller than a standard note card. And standard note card is, I think, 3 inches by 5. So what we got? So this is like, I think it's 4 by 4, 4 by 4 1/4. So it's a little bit bigger than a standard note card size, but with things like envelope punch boards, which we have in stock, by the way, it's super easy to make an envelope any size you want. So those little offcuts don't get wasted. Okay, so taking our different card sizes, I'm just going to pull out the 3 main card sizes. Let's look at our papers, and I'll tell you why I love the 6 by 8 paper pads. So this is 8.5 inches wide. So immediately you're saying, yeah, but the papers are only 8 inches wide. That is true. I quite like to make my card designs with a little white frame around it anyways. So I can cut this in half. That's 3 inches by 8 inches. And let's just do that for you. And then it creates this nice framed design. And then I can add things on top of that. This particular pack has a paper like this that has different images you can cut apart and add to your card as sentiments. But it's also got lots of coordinating papers. I love that stripe. Stars. This is like a night sky. More stars. Just doing a quick flip through here. This is just a very simple sort of textural background, so really easy to add images on top of that. And I'm just going to pull that aside and we can make something with that. More stars. Another textural paper with a sort of solid background there. I'm going to pull all those ones that read like a solid, but actually have some pattern in the background, and we'll do some stuff with them. This one might be a little bit dark for what I was planning to do, so I'm going to leave that one aside, and then we're back to our cut apart. Okay, so before I show you what I have in store for these, let's just quickly turn this one into a finished card. I'm just going to add some adhesive onto the back of this so that it's done. And then let's dress it up a little bit. In this collection, now I do have this cut apart that I can use. And one of these little like sayings I think might come in handy. But I wanted to show you in this collection, there's a couple other really fun things. There's lots of other really fun things, but there are these 3x4 sort of journaling cards, and some of them have some designs on them or sentiments, like that one. So some of these could be added to your cards for additional fun. And I'll just quickly flip through these for you. These ones don't repeat like the paper pads do. They're all they're all double-sided. So ooh, that could be fun. All right. And also in this collection is this pack, which is titles. And it's all in this sort of almost chalkboard black. So some of these could be great for cards as well. And then there's also this die cut ephemera pack, which has all sorts of icons and graphics. All these stars, like this particular star, it's all different individual stars. That doesn't make a lot of sense, but I'll show you here because I've used some of them. But here's a couple. So you see they all fit together. That's what they showed you in the image there, but they're actually all individual stars. So lots of fun. Okay, so let's see what we can make. And I think I will trim this down. Get everything off my trimmer that I put on there now. Let's see if I take off. I'm just going to take like a 1/4 inch off the top and the bottom, which should make it the same height as my card. Perfect. And then, excuse my dog, I don't know what he's barking at. Not sure I'm going to use any of these words on there, but I could bring in some stars. Let's see what else is in that pack. Maybe something in this color like that one, or a contrasting color like orange would be fun. There's a darker blue. There's also some lightning bolts, which could be, you know, you sort of do this sort of emphasis thing, right? You're the best. So it could bring in some orange. Globe. Let's see, I'm just flipping really quickly to see if there's anything in here. There's another lightning bolt. I kind of like this idea of the lightning bolt. I could add a rocket. Ooh, or something like that. Okay. So this is what I love to do, and it helps me sort of get inspired, is just kind of play with all the little bits and pieces. I do the same thing with my stamp sets. I'm just tucking those back in the package so I don't lose them all. All right, so I'm going to tape this down, and then I have a bigger margin at the top and bottom than I do on either side. So I'm trying to center it, and Yes, I could measure it, get out a T-square and all the rest of it, but that is just not how I work. So I'm a big eyeballer. And I'm gonna put this just slightly off center. And then I'm gonna pop this one up. I need to find my little adhesives. I don't know where my ones are from the store, so we'll just use stash items. I have pop dots from like everywhere you can think of. All different sizes, shapes, heights. It's just the way I roll. Now I was actually thinking that I might look for some sort of sentiment to stamp there. And I pulled out this stamp set. This is called the, what is it? Circle Party stamp set. And I've been having fun with this, and I'm want to make some cards with it. And yeah, let's do a little cheers to you. Get myself an acrylic block. Let's see. Arrange this so that it says cheers to you. This is my trick. If I lay them upside down, so as if I was about to stamp them, then I can line them up, and then I just pick them up with my block, and then they're perfectly in line. I think a nice blue. So let's grab my Distress Oxides. This is my giant basket. Oh, look, and we found an ant. Had some issues with ants earlier today. This is my stash basket of Distress Oxides. So I am looking for blueprint stitch. No, I need chipped sapphire if it's in here. If I was prepared, price really might work. And I know what you're thinking. Do you have every single Distress Oxide ever made? And the answer is no, I do not. Okay, so let's look at where this might go. And then we'll stamp it just to the side. So chipped sapphire is a really nice navy, which will pick up on that navy there, I think. There we go. Woo! Oh my goodness, throwing things everywhere. And all of our Distress Oxides are 40% off this month. So, you know, buy us out. I would be completely happy to have to come like restock all my Distress Oxides, because that means that you guys are enjoying them and discovering why it is that I love them so much. So when you are creating something and you want to have sort of more than one element, it is a good practice to sort of layer them on top of each other instead of having them individually. I don't know if I can pick this up now to show you. So instead of having this card here and then that one there and then the star over there, it's like 3 separate stories, if you want to call it that. It doesn't seem cohesive. However, when I glue this, and I'm just going to use some liquid glue, assuming it's not dried out. and it's not because I store it upside down. That's my trick. So I'm going to tuck this. Just trying to think of which way to go. And I glued that one down pretty good, so I can't really move that. So I'm going to tuck this one there, and I'm going to put my little victory sign over top. I'm going to move that one down just a touch. So now they're all touching, and it creates a story of them together. Does that make sense? I hope it does. And then I think I will even bring in a lightning bolt, because these are fun. And the Nuvo adhesive is also 40% off. Do I want another lightning bolt? You know, I think just one is probably good. So now this to me is a more masculine card. So how do you finish a masculine card? Do you add jewels, gems, you know, do you add the Nuvo drops, which by the way are also 40% off? I don't think you do. I think masculine cards, you just generally leave them a little bit as is. I mean, obviously you can. Here I am finding more things to add. Yeah, kind of like that. This side is just feeling a little bit barren to me. And then if I bring these two stars in, it helps everything feel cohesive. That one star is not sort of sitting out there on its own. And if you've watched any of my videos, you know I'm a little pop dot obsessed. I don't like things to fall flat or get squished in my page protectors if it's a scrapbook layout, or in the envelope if it's a card. So I quite often will over pop dot, more than other people do anyways. I don't consider it over pop dotting, but you might. All right. And when I layer these things on top of each other, I'm watching out for, and I didn't do a very good job here, but you see how in this little gap of the star, we've got a half of the card and then half of the background. It's not ideal. Here, when I was placing the star, the first place I had put it, I had a little bit of sort of wood grain showing. So I just moved it to hide that just a little bit. Yeah. All right. So super simple. When you buy items from the same line, everything coordinates, so it's really easy to put together. Okay, so that is a Slimline card showing you just how easy it is to use the 6x8 papers to create cards of this size. What if you wanted to do, I'm just going to put this off to the side, a regular size card. And I completely, oh, there it is. A regular size card. So let's actually take one of these that I pulled out. So I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to leave it as is because I want to do some stamping on top of it, and then I will cut the paper down. And this is the stamp set that I have been really enjoying playing with. and it's a Catherine Pooler stamp set. And it is 40% off. It's just really fun. So let's pick some colors. So I think I will go with Chipped Sapphire. That seems to work with this collection. And let's pull in a red and maybe an orange. Where is my carved pumpkin? I'm looking for colors that will, ooh, could do mustard seed as well. Very primary. There's carved pink. I'm looking for colors that will work with this collection. So here are the colors in this collection, and clearly I've stamped this already because I made a card for my husband using this paper. So I know it works. Yeah, so this is like the orange there. That's a good match for the yellow. The red, it's probably a little bit pinkier, but we'll see how it looks on this particular color. And then I could use a different blue. I could use like Salty Ocean. This one I could maybe even use, oh, it's not Mermaid Lagoon. I'd have to play with it and find that color. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to use Chipped Sapphire. And I am going to be stamping all over the paper and slightly off. So I need to have baby wipe. We'll have a baby wipe to hand. Okay, let's start with the Chipped Sapphire. And I'm just, instead of taking the stamp to the ink pad, I'm taking the ink pad to the stamp and just making sure I've got good coverage. And then I'm going to start up here in this corner. And a little bit is off the page, and that's exactly what I want. And I'm just going to clean that off before I like put my hands in it or something. And so let's do at least one more of this dark blue. This time I'm going to make the full circle on the page. And I will stamp it actually a third time. Okay, I'm going to bring it down here. So I don't need the whole thing covered in ink, because I'm really just going to bring a little bit down to the bottom. Oh, whoops. Okay, well, I'll just have to cut around that. Okay, I'm going to clean this off as well. So it's unfortunate that I dropped the stamp on the page, but we can make it work. Do not despair. Okay, I'm going to take the next size of circle, and let's go to orange first. Blue and orange are complementary colors, FYI. And what that basically means is that they will act to highlight each other. Now, I could go right in the center and build concentric circles, but I am going to overlap. So I'm going to come down here. Try not to drop this stamp. And for this one, I'm going to go off the side. Oh, there goes my dog again. Must be somebody walking past. Heaven forbid. And then we'll add a circle here. And then we'll clean off this stamp. And we'll clean off my mat. All right. Next size of circle. Let's go to the red. So now we're getting down to a size that will easily fit onto my stamp pad. So I'm just taking the stamp right to the stamp pad. Now, instead of overlapping, I think I'm going to come up here. This is such a fun stamp set. And then we'll come in here. I have no plan, I guess would be the word. I need another baby wipe though. Other than to just go through all the stamps here. Oh, let's do this one. That's the next biggest. And we'll go to the next color. Sometimes when you put the stamp, when you place the stamp on the block, it can go a little bit wonky. So if you actually lay it, like just kind of throw it onto your surface and use your block to pick it up, it will be perfectly formed as the designer planned it. Okay, this one, I'm going to overlap the two colors and take it right up to the edge. And let's overlap all the colors here. And then I'll put it in the middle of the orange circle down here. And then I think I will add another one over here. So it's kind of like you're creating your own patterned paper. And I will definitely do this with just white cardstock as well. Okay, so now I've gone through all the colors. I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stamps. So now I'm going to go back to my blue with this small one, and we'll add in this blue. I'm really not worrying about this. We will sort it out later. And I know that I have a lot of empty space there. Again, not worried about that at all. Sometimes you need some empty space to just kind of let the design breathe. All right, so I did red next. No, I didn't. I did orange next, didn't I? Okay, let's do orange. Now I am looking for where my colors aren't. So I've got orange, orange, orange. I don't have much in here, so let's add orange there. I'm going to come up here with my orange. And now I have two oranges next to each other, but I still have more stamps. So I just need to make sure that I add some of the other colors in there so it doesn't look out of place that I have the two oranges right next to each other. Okay, and then let's come down here. I think that's really good. Okay. So this is the last patterned circle, and then we've got some solid dots. So let's add some yellow. Definitely a more subtle stamp in a more subtle color. All right, so I've got my two solid ones left now. And I'm going to switch things up a little bit because I'm going to go with the small one first. And we're going to go back to my blue. I'm going to come over here. Okay. Now, looking at this, I think I need more red. In fact, that one probably should have been in red. Oh well, I messed up my order. It's fine. But I can bring in my red now. And I'm overlapping again, because that is just kind of the way the pattern, to me, looks best. All right, I know I've got red there. I feel like I need to overlap it here on the orange. All right, so there we go. Just quickly made some pattern paper on some pattern paper. Now, I'm going to move this to one side, and I'm going to clean my mat just in case there's any ink on it, because I'm about to put white cardstock down on there, and the last thing I want to do is pick up any random color from ink and dry it off. Okay, so I'm bringing in my standard size card. So this is the piece of paper is 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. The card size is 4 1/4 by 5.5. So now we've got our pattern paper, and I'm going to go right to that bit that has the mess, because I want to show you that you don't need to be afraid of this. So let's bring in my trimmer, and I am going to cut this. This is 6 inches, and I'll show you on the trimmer. Okay, it's a little shy of 6 inches. I'm first going to cut this. My card front would be 4 1/4 by 5.5. Remember how I said I like to have that little white frame? So I'm going to cut this to 4 1/8. And then I'm going to cut this size. So 5.5 would be the full width of my card front. So I'm taking it down 1/8 of an inch. Now, do I want to cut that side off or the other side? You know what? Let's cut the other side off, because that's the messy side. So again, take it over to 5.5 and then pull it back 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so already we're getting rid of some of that mistake. And I have a plan for this. I'm just going to put this to one side. Now, let's get some adhesive on this. And yeah, I over adhesive everything. I don't want things to move. So the messy bit, we got a couple of options for that. We can put another one of those. Actually, before I put it down, I am going to ink the edges of this. So I need to find a dark blue ink dauber. That looks about right. I just want to add a little bit of definition to these edges. So I'm just running my ink, little mini ink blending tool along the edge. That way, when it gets adhered to the card front, it almost gives it this little frame, a little bit of definition. It's a nice finishing touch. Okay, so we got a couple of options. We can use one of these cut aparts. We can use one of these cards to like hide it. We've also got a whole lot of these that we can use there. One of them matches our whole design because it is a circle. So we can put that in there. We've still got some mess there, so we can layer it and have like a tag. There's not a whole lot of contrast between this circle and the background though. So I might look at other options. Oh, there's an orange circle. That's a little bit better. The other options, we've got a globe. Now, there's this one that says "You rock my world," but I thought there was another one. Maybe it's in the phrases. No, I thought there was one that said "Out of this world." Maybe it's in these cards. Let's see. Shoot stars, moon and back. That one. But then I would be doubling that. So I am not sure if that's what I want. I'm just quickly flipping through to see if there's anything else in there that I want. There's a little saying that says "out of this world." So what I could do is layer a few things. I've got this. Now, where did my globe go? I hit it. So my globe would be better on this side. I want something with some color back there. I could do this one with the orange. Now we're talking. And I can use this "out of this world" little strip. And let's see if I have a sentiment in that stamp set that would work. This one was what? Nope, that's the wrong stamp set. Cheers to you. The other one says "you did it." And now that's something to celebrate. I'll maybe leave that. Yeah, I'll maybe leave that. Okay. Is there anything else in here? Reach for the stars. would bring that red into the grouping. It's always a good idea to repeat colors. Oh, that's not straight. Yeah, repeat colors, repeat motifs, repeat things like inked edges. If that's what you've done for one, then you should do it for others, including things like this that have a white halo. Now that we have all the pieces sort of exactly where we want them, we need to think about dimension. So we could just glue everything flat, nothing wrong with that, but it is kind of nice to have a little bit of dimension. Some things raised up, just like we did with the other card, where we raised up a couple things with some pop dots. We'll do that here. But let's start from the back and move forward. And I'm gonna just use my tape runner here. And I noticed the way I had them originally placed, there was still a little bit of the oopsie that was showing. So I think I had it this way, right? I wonder if I want, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put that white against the side. So I'm gonna pull it up to cover all that oopsie. This one's gonna be flat. And this one's going to be flat. And then I have to figure out, I've still got some oopsie showing there. I think I have another idea of how to cover some of that. So let's figure out if we want to have the globe up on pop dots or flat and then have that popped up. Definitely want to pop this up. The pop dots I was using, I think, are a little bit too wide, but I do have somewhere some strips that will work. And I'm not sure if we still have these in the store. I'm looking for them, but my supplier hasn't been restocked, so still having issues with all that fun stuff. So we'll pull that one up there. So there's still a tiny bit of the oopsies left there, but I think it might be okay. I think it might just sort of disappear into the background. You know what, I'm gonna raise this whole bit up. So let's get my other pop dots, although they're not dots, they're squares. And then I can actually adhere that last sentiment piece right to the globe. And if I need a little dimensional adhesive, sorry, I'm just trying to figure that, I don't need that bit. If I need a little bit of dimensional adhesive, say on one end, I can do that. Because yeah, I can have it like that. So I'll put one of these on the end, and then my tape runner on the rest of it. And I kind of went a little overboard there, but that's fine. We can fix that, no problems. Okay, now, I kind of want a little bit of something else in this. I have some of these pearls that might work, or you know what, maybe some of those dark blue gems. So these are from Honeybee Stamps, and we have a variety of the pearls, and we've got tons of different color schemes in these gems, and they're all 40% off right now because they're part of my 49 faves. I use enamel dots. All the enamel dots are on sale too. I use gems and I use pearls like all the time when I'm scrapbooking and for my cards. Okay, so this is going to be a good color match to that dark blue. And might even help detract a little bit more from that little oopsies, but I don't think anybody can really see that anymore. So don't be afraid. I know it's annoying when you do something stupid like drop your stamp, but it's not the end of the world. And I think maybe one more just right here. Okay, so there's another one done. Now I do have more of that pattern that we made. So let's see what we can do. And this time, if I can find it on my progressively messier desk here, I want to use the Slimline card. Oh, there it is. And the pattern that I made, which has now disappeared. Oh, here it is. So this is, because it was just shy of 6 inches, makes it kind of a perfect size for these cards, to give us that little bit of a frame that we want, right? See, we got a little bit of white frame around. So I know that my card is 3 inches. So I am just going to do the same thing I did with the other, when I was cutting for the other piece. I'm going to take it to the 3 inches and then move it back 1/8 of an inch. I might actually, well, let's start there. I might take off another 1/8 of an inch depending on this frame. Yeah, I will. Just because the width is like a 1/4 inch shy of the width of my card. So if I have the other side 1/4 inch sort of short of the 3 inches, then my frame is equal all the way around. If that makes any sense to you. Maybe I'm just talking gibberish right now. And for this one, I'm going to keep it super simple. We've got lots of pattern on the card itself, on the paper, because of all the stamping we did. So I'm actually just going to add a sentiment and maybe some gems or pearls or something like that. And I've got this open space, which is perfect for a sentiment. So let's get out this "you did it," and now that's something to celebrate. I'll get a block here. I'm going to pull these other 2 off my block and put them back. And let's look at the colors we have. think I will do the You Did It in the blue. Let's just see how much space I need. Okay. So we'll do You Did It. And then I'm gonna do the other sentiment in the red, just to mix it up a bit. Okay. And now let's look at, bring my my pearls and whatnot back in, because I think, let's look at this sort of yellowish one. It's not quite right. So I think I'll go to my jewels, and I don't want to do the blue again. I might do this kind of gold color. I think that would be nice. And I'm going to go back into where my my stamping is, and just pick some spots. I'm trying to decide if I want a triangle or like a little sort of squiggly line. Maybe a triangle. I want to bring some down on the other side of the sentiment. Some up here. You can use tweezers to apply these instead of sort of digging it out with your fingernails like I'm doing. You know, I think that might be good. I was gonna add another grouping, but I think it's good. Okay, so super simple. Just using the pattern that we created with the stamps, and a few little gemstones, and that's all you need. Okay, so that was a really quick little sort of tutorial, if you want to call it that, on different card sizes and creating pattern papers with stamp sets, and how to use a different sized paper to create some cards with. So hopefully that helped you, give you some inspiration. Dig into your papers, your 6x6. If you have 6x8, this kind of opens up maybe a new realm for you. And also check out the sale online. Okay, so all the 6x6 and this 6x8 paper pads, they're all 40% off. All of our jewels and pearls and enamel dots that I don't have handy, they're all 40% off. Our Distress Oxides are 40% off. Our Nouveau drops are 40% off. The Deluxe Adhesive is 40% off. These are all my favorite things, and they're all 40% off. All of our Be Creative tape, it's all 40% off. All the different sizes of it as well. So please shop online. Any purchases you make over $100 ship for free within Canada and the United States. Yeah, every purchase you make from and if you purchase, you know, one of the items from my birthday party line, if you want to call it that, you get a little gift from me. So yeah, I hope that you have some fun shopping online, and I will put all the links in the video and in the blog post. And I can't wait to see what you create with our 6x6 and 6x8 paper pads. Okay? Have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.